All right, please, if you've logged in, do share the link. Share. We are about to get started. All right. Okay, so I want to share the link on my own status so that those that were asking me for the link can join. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I think we'll just give like another 4 minutes and then we'll kick start.
Okay.
Great. So if you're logged on, I can see 8 people on the chat. That's a good number for a start. Please share the link. Somebody's going to get value from this webinar today. So at exactly 5 minutes past 7, we'll start.
Yeah, I can hear you
Oh,
clearly.
great. Awesome.
I need to plug my headset.
Two minutes more. I'm excited. Drop a chat, drop a comment. Let's know where you're watching from all over the world. Okay. I think we'll just start right about now. So, welcome everyone to this webinar. The theme for the webinar is how you can transition into the tech space from any field. And this is an interesting topic for me because I know that I am one person that usually dread technology in time past, but I transitioned into tech and it's been an amazing journey. And I have here with me my friend, my brother, and he'll be taking us through how he transitioned from being a bank teller to a senior engineer. So my name is Dave Silvanos. I'm a thought leader and I am a growthpreneur. I'm also the business development lead at ProDevs. And this webinar is sponsored by ProDevs Outsourcing. We are a tech company that is into recruitment. We help top companies all around the world recruit talents that help them move their projects into profitability. So we'll go into the webinar right now and I would allow our guests to introduce themselves. So I know him as Ebuka, but other people know him as Jeffron. So in 2 minutes, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, sure. My name is Ebuka Jeffron Udechupu. I currently work as a senior cloud support engineer at NXLog, and I have worked as a teller, as a bank teller. I studied materials engineering at Unizik, and yes, that's the short version of me.
I know tech guys are usually not they're very precise. They just go to the point. So let me ask you,
Yeah, kind of.
Ibuka, how was it for you transitioning into tech? What was the experience like when you started? What was the experience like?
Okay, the idea is I made a conscious decision to move to tech. It was a very, very conscious decision, and it was it seemed like it would be a long shot. However, I was able to do this, and it was fun, really. Okay, I think I would break down my story here. I worked for about 5 years at Zenith Bank as a teller, right? And during my time in Zenith Bank, I m- made a conscious decision that I wasn't going to go through that route. I had colleagues then doing ICANN, doing ACCA, and doing all sorts of certifications to progress in the banking industry.
Yeah.
I knew I didn't want that because I looked at how things were in that industry, and I knew it's not something I wanted to do long term. So I made a conscious choice that I would have to transition to a career that I would want to be in long term. And to do this, what I did was I started studying.
Wow.
First things first, you have to decide that okay, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. And when I made that choice, so I picked up materials. I studied. At first, I staggered because in tech there are lots of fields, and it might be it might be quite a challenge to pick a particular field. So at first I kind of staggered in picking a field. I went to machine learning, went to data science, went to programming Python, went to cloud engineering,
Wow.
went to DevOps, and as a result, the staggering actually ended up paying off
Wow.
because it made me have lots of knowledge in so many different fields. And yeah, I ended up in security and cloud engineering, basically. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. I like that. Like they say, no knowledge is a waste. And I guess that's what has
Yeah,
paid
it
off for
is.
you right now.
Yeah,
Okay, great. So what
exactly.
what what motivated you into transitioning? Was it because you um wanted a better life, you wanted more money, or you just want to be a part of something big?
So the choice, excuse me, let me remove this. Okay, the choice was simple. I needed to make something that would suit me long term.
Okay.
I was working in an industry that demanded that I be in the office, right? For example, and it wasn't fun, right? I know I could do more. It was a very restrictive industry, and I knew I didn't want to be there long term. It was so much that all my colleagues, my bosses, my juniors, my like colleagues were all saying, "Hi, Ibuka, you shouldn't be here. Hey, Jeff, you shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here. You shouldn't be here." And I was like, "Oh, yes, I know, I shouldn't be here," because I knew I was doing a good job, but it wasn't something I wanted to do long term. Now, I had a plan for my life, and the plan was I wanted something that could permit me to work remotely,
Okay.
and it something that could permit me to work in any part of the world I choose to be
Wow.
without restrictions. And um, engineering wasn't going to cut that. Banking wasn't going to cut that, and one field that actually has such potential was tech. So I made a very, very conscious decision to join and to develop myself.
Okay, great. So
Thank
I'm
you.
I'm curious to know now when you're talking about wanting to work remotely, was this before COVID or post
Yes,
COVID?
yes, yes. Before COVID, um, it was COVID that made people know that you can actually work
A
remotely.
lot of
But the
people.
reality, yes, but the reality was that even before COVID, there had been companies, many companies working remotely.
Wow.
I know this because I was applying.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. There had been many companies globally working remotely. For example, the company I work for has always been like that, and it's still
Like
like
that.
that. Yes, it's a remote company. It's a remote-based company. Actually, they just had an office recently.
Whoa. Whoa.
Yes.
Whoa. Wow. Awesome. Awesome stuff. So I think I have another question for you. I'm being very intentional about this question. So and that's why I'm
Yes,
reading
please
them.
go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. So networking and building connections are very crucial in the tech space. I'm
Mhm.
sure somebody must have maybe told you about something. So, can you share your experience in expanding your professional network and the tips for the audience that we have here on our live webinar?
So, one of the very first, very important things you should do when transitioning from a career to another is to look for guys in that career, like in your new
Mm,
career that you want to be in, that knows what they are doing and can advise you.
mm,
This is very, 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 very important. Why? Because they would advise you on the fastest and most efficient steps to take. For example, when I wanted to move to tech, I decided to start studying. I did my research, did
yes.
my learning. I was studying, I was studying, I was studying, I was developing myself, I was practicing, and it's actually took a while until I spoke to someone and the person said, "Come, see, you're not in tech currently, and even though you might know what you're doing, for you to prove to employers that you know what you're doing, you need some certifications to back it up. And if you're going for certifications, don't go for the easy ones, go for the hard ones.
Hmm.
Something that says, I'm not joking, like I'm serious.
Wow.
There are some certifications that once you see it, you know that at least this guy knows what he's doing.
Wow.
Even if
Okay.
he's not the best in this field, he knows what he's doing. So he told me this, and this was my elder brother, who was a senior engineer then in tech, and I made that choice. So I decided to start writing certifications. I went for the toughest,
Hmm.
at least that I could easily go for. I did on Kubernetes certifications, did Linux engineers certifications, and Linux sysadmin certifications. And while I did that, it paved the way for me to get my first job.
Wow.
So because when I submitted my CV and you look at the CV, you are seeing certified Kubernetes administrator, Linux certified system administrator. It tells you something that this guy knows what he's doing
Hmm.
at the minimum,
True. True.
right?
True.
It tells you something that this guy knows what he's doing. He might not be the best guy out there, but he can do this job.
It's
At
hot
least he has
stuff.
been certified by notable organizations to do this job. It's like being an accountant and having ICANN in Nigeria.
Okay. Okay.
If you have ICANN, any organization can employ you and know that you at least at the minimum you should know what you're doing
Hmm.
because you have ICANN, right?
Yeah.
So go for I went for very good certifications like
And tough ones,
as
like
that
you said.
has exactly tough ones. It should be relatively tough. It shouldn't be something that everyone has. Like
Oh.
let's say intro to AWS, intro
Hmm.
to Azure, whatever. No, you want something that is a little bit that can define you.
Hmm.
Something that guys in the industry don't easily go for
Hmm.
because they know it's difficult. Now, if you want to go for these certifications, it will take something from you.
I was coming to that.
Oftentimes when you prepare, yeah, of course. If you want to go for the certifications, it will take something from you. It will take something from you. But the most important step, it's not really on getting the certifications, it is the preparation.
Hmm.
Because when you're preparing for it, it exposes you to a lot. And the process of preparing for these certifications would help you to become someone that these companies can trust. Now, when you go for these certifications, then the next thing you want to do is to open yourself up to mentorship and to cheap jobs. Really, you should be open to that. For example, let's say you want to become a backend developer, and you've gone for your boot camps, you've done your trainings, you've done whatever. Next thing you want to embrace up for is you want to embrace up for free roles and
Free
cheap
roles, you
jobs.
said.
Yes, free roles. Now,
Wow.
what this does for you is that it opens you up for recommendation, and it also opens you up for experience. And for example, if I worked with you, I'm a very, very senior engineer, and I worked with you, and I told you that, okay, you helped me build out this service, and you did a fantastic job. Now, it will immediately change my perception towards you. I'm not seeing
Hmm.
you again as some rookie because you did
Hmm.
a fantastic job. I would
Wow.
have some trust to commit some more responsibilities to you.
That's true.
Now, if I know someone else that is recruiting and he's saying, "Hey, I need a backend engineer that does Java or that does Rust or that does Golang," I'll be like, "Hey,
Quick recommendation.
it, it becomes a very easy way for me to recommend you because I've worked with you, and because I'm the one recommending you, the person as in this has already taken out lots of fear from your potential
True.
employer
True.
towards you
True.
because he's like, oh, he was recommended by someone that is good, that has something to lose.
Hmm.
So doing free roles, in quotes, free roles, cheap roles, will expose you to the industry in a way you haven't seen it before, and it will also expose you to very, very good and important recommendations that can really, really help your career,
Oh,
basically.
great, great, great. Wow. Eye-opening. I don't know if you saw me taking notes. I had to take
It's
notes
fine,
because
man.
it's very important. I'm also here to learn, not just to hear from you. So I have an interesting question. When you were speaking, you talked about going for the tough certifications that people would necessarily not go for. So I'm curious to know,
Yes,
when you were taking these certifications, were you working? If you were,
yes.
how are you managing your time? Because time is an important factor here, right? So if you were you working first and
Okay.
foremost?
Yes,
So how are
yes.
you
I was
managing your
working in
time
Zenith Bank.
in a
Yeah, and
bank?
li- yes, like anybody that knows what it means to live in Lagos, you would know that. And you're working for a bank in
Ah,
Lagos,
they say
you would
bankers
know
don't have
that
a
you
life. Is it true?
live exactly. Yes. So the point is, you have to make a very conscious decision. Like, okay, I want this. Now the next question is, how much do I want it?
Hmm.
Because that is going to be tested.
What's your why?
If you say you want something, how much do you want it? Like, I knew that I couldn't stay in the banking industry for 10 years. I knew.
Hmm.
So the moment it dawned on me that I can't do this for long, I had to start planning my way out. Now, I could have moved from the teller to the IT in
Mm-hmm.
banking, which I actually went for the interviews, but they didn't have the role I was qualified for then.
Oh wow.
But the reality was that the head of IT in the banking in my bank then was really impressed. He was like, "Wow, I like what you're doing," and he actually gave me some advices that would help me in terms of my career. He said, "Man, you've got to consider looking for some new companies like fintech companies and whatnot." I wouldn't go into that, but generally, you need to make a very, very conscious choice on why you want this and how much you want it. Because the level of your desire will be tested. It will be tested when you get back from work and you're tired and you're famished, and you make a conscious choice to study for extra 2 hours. It will test you when you wake up early in the morning and you make a conscious choice to study for an hour or 2 hours before going to work.
And having to beat the traffic again.
Exactly, yes.
Wow.
It will test your test your desire when you have a break, a holiday, and instead of going to the beach to have fun, and guys are saying, hey, come on, and you say, hey, I'm actually busy somewhat, I'm doing something. It is testing your desire, because your friends would call you introvert, they would call you whatever, but at that point your desire is being tested. So it is not enough to say, I want to become a medical doctor. They will test your the desire. I want to become a senior engineer in tech. It will be tested. I want to become a senior developer. It will be tested. Generally, just know that the desire will be tested. So you have to make a conscious decision and count your cost. And then if you know that it is worth it for you, because it is an individual thing. Yeah, I remember something now, but let me not go there. If you know that it is worth it, then you can go. I remember some meme I saw some time ago where someone asked someone, "Hey, I heard you I'm learning Python. What made you stop?" And the guy was like, "The Python don't bite me. Let me speak."
Python don't bite me, right?
And he was like, "The Python don't bite me."
Wow.
And it's really funny. It's really, really funny, because that's what I'm saying. You have to count your cost and make a very conscious decision that, okay, I want this. And when you make that choice, the next thing is to pursue it as if your life depends on it. Because your happiness might just depend on it.
Wow, great. I just hope our viewers are getting value from this conversation. They say success leaves clues. So you need to know your why. You have to be resilient. Anything you want will test how much you want it, and then you need to count your cost. Wow. Okay, so can you share some valuable lessons you've learned while working in tech that has impacted you? And how have they contributed to your success? So we've talked about how you transitioned into tech, the steps you had to take. So while working in tech right now, what are the lessons you've come to learn, and how has it helped you in your career success?
Yeah, one thing I've learned is that tech is one field that you just have to continue developing yourself.
Oh, okay.
It's not like, I don't know how nursing is, but if you're a nurse, you can go to work and come back and rest. And in 10 years, you would be a very senior nurse with lots of experience. Yes.
I hope there are no
In
nurses
tech,
to counter you on
no,
that.
no. I'm just saying.
No problem, I get you.
But in tech, if you try that, you'll be so shocked that in 5 years you don't know what is going on anymore. So you just have to always look ahead in tech if you want to grow, because in tech the speed at which you grow is a function of your desire. It's not a function of how much you have. It's not a function of who you know. It is a function of your desire. Especially if you're working in the technical area of IT. For example, let's say you want to become a senior backend engineer for a company. Now, even if your dad is the CEO and is a billionaire, he wouldn't make you the lead backend engineer if you're not good enough. Why? Because he wants his company to produce good apps that will serve his customers.
Yeah.
It is one field that has the most minimum issues where you see favoritism, because it is purely based on performance.
Wow. Yeah, I agree.
It is purely based on performance. So even if I hate you and you deliver so well, I would
don't have a
love to
choice.
keep you. even if I hate even if I hate your guts and I'm your boss, but you deliver so well. As in, you would force me to like you. Your results will force me to like you.
Yeah.
And and it is one, because I know how difficult it is to replace you. So
Hmm.
it is a field that that if you work hard, it will be seen.
Hmm.
If you don't, it will be seen.
Hmm.
So that's one thing in tech, and I would encourage anyone that is saying he wants to go to tech, he wants to transit, to know that what it just means is that long term you'll be studying. If you don't like studying, forget about it.
Hmm.
It's not for you. It's
Hmm.
not for you. So it is an industry that that if you enter, you know that long term you'll be studying
Hmm.
long term, because things keep changing. Things keeps changing. Things keeps changing. Yesterday it was IT and operations. It was dev and operations. Today is DevOps and DevSecOps. Tomorrow you are hearing no ops. So things are always changing.
Hmm.
They are always changing. Languages are being improved on. Libraries are going bad, or I'm trying to remember the, the word now, but the whole thing is that things are always improving.
Yes.
You would always see that, oh, this has been deprecated, on this feature has been deprecated, something you used just last year, and it's no longer the new thing. So
Wow.
because of that, you just know that you have to always improve yourself, always read, always study, always try to know like what's up. And for that, it takes work.
Hmm.
It takes deliberate work. So it's not for someone that is saying you're lazy or you want to do it casually. No, you can't do it casually. You
Hmm.
can't. If you
Wow.
if you intend to do it long term, you can't do it casually.
Wow. Wow.
That's my
Wow.
experience, though.
So whilst you were speaking, what was coming to my mind was software engineers or tech engineers are like softwares that you have to constantly update. So you have to keep updating yourself
Yes,
in
they can be
learning, in
synonymous,
knowledge.
because if you look at it, a software might be this good today, and just in 3 years' time, you're
Yeah.
hearing that, oh, it has lots of bugs. It,
Mm.
it 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 lacks this feature. It's not secured, and blah blah blah. So as a result, because of that, you should know that you have to keep improving. Like, you
Improving
just have
yourself.
to. Some libraries that were awesome 4 years ago
Mm.
are now deprecated.
True.
So as a result, you just have to keep on improving yourself. And the
Wow.
funny thing is, some technologies that used to be very good, like everybody loved them. For example, 10 years ago, jQuery was dope. Like, everybody was talking about jQuery and how good it is. Now nobody talks about it. Like, literally, no one talks about it.
Now dated.
So exactly, exactly. That's the point. So you just have to keep on improving yourself.
Wow.
You just have to keep a very open mind and be ready to improve on processes and also on how you do things.
Wow, wow, wow. And I think it was Albert Einstein that said that the modern day education is the ability to learn, relearn, and then unlearn. So this is very
Yeah,
key. This is very key. And I think one of the take home points for me is the fact that if you are not ready to learn long term, just don't worry, don't go into tech. Just stick to where you are.
exactly. Yes, yes.
Stick to where
You
you
would be
are.
happier.
Wow,
You would be
great,
happier,
great.
because the funny thing is, you might spend 20 hours to learn a new technology today, and just in 6 months' time, you're hearing some blog saying that it has lots of vulnerabilities and it's not safe. And all the time you took to learn the technology and to have experience in technology, it just seems like a waste all over just a period of 6 months.
Hmm.
So you have to just be willing to learn and to discard what you've learned
What you've learned
and
before.
to improve on it,
Oh, great, great,
basically.
great. Amazing, amazing. I can't thank you enough for coming on this conversation. So I'm still going to come
Thank you,
back
man.
to resources that you can recommend to people who want to probably start up in your field or that tech field. But I think I have like one more question for you here. Okay, two actually. How do you manage work-life balance in your current role, and what tips can you offer to the audience in maintaining well-being while pursuing their career? I know there's some tech gurus take up like two, three jobs at the same time, and they are good at everything, getting the dollars, getting the
Uh,
pounds. How do they manage to balance their life?
okay. The short answer is if you want to do two, three jobs, you should forget about work-life balance. You should just
Don't
forget about it.
say.
Forget about it. It's not for you. If you're thinking
Oh,
of doing two, three jobs, because basically what you're doing is you're sacrificing the hours that should be for life
for work.
for more work because you want more money, basically.
Oh
So
wow.
if what you're looking at is work-life balance, then just forget about the two, three jobs. Exactly. Now, it also depends on which company you're working for
Okay.
and the kind of work you do. For
Okay.
example, if you are a developer, no. Let me use something else. If you're a cloud engineer in two companies, what you would see is that you might have a little bit more time than if you're a backend engineer in two companies. Why?
Okay.
Because a cloud engineer in two companies already knows processes in two
Hmm.
companies. So he might not spend much time to research and how to do things. Yes, he
Okay.
will still have less life in
Okay.
terms of time than someone that does only just one role. But the long story short is that he might just be able to manage it easier than for a backend engineer that is working on two companies with lots of projects,
Wow.
because what you see is that you are always writing code
Hmm.
and it will lead to burnout. I can tell you that for sure. From experience, I can tell you that it is you are in a highway to burnout.
Wow.
You know, when you just enter the week and it's just Wednesday and you're really feeling like it's Friday evening.
When is Friday
Yeah, that's
coming?
exactly.
Oh wow, great, great. All right, so finally, what are the most significant trends and developments shaping the tech industry today? And how do you see this impacting your work and career decision in the future? We talk about
Okay,
AI, robotics, and
exactly,
all of that. So just tell us something
exactly.
about it in a few minutes.
Um, the reality is that if you're in the world today, you just cannot ignore AI.
Hmm.
You just can't, because it wouldn't be in your best interest to do so. So as a result, we all know that AI is coming, is already here,
It's
and it's
come to
still
stay.
coming. Yes, yes. Like it's here to stay, and it is still coming. Now,
Hmm.
it is still coming means that we'll see more and more
Wow.
and more. At least we expect to see more. So what you can do for yourself is to find ways to integrate what you do with AI and to leverage on it,
Okay.
basically.
Hmm.
Because the reality is that the way the world is going, 20 years from now would be a lot different than today. A lot.
Wow.
The way we are seeing changes is exponential, and it can be scary, really. I will be frank with you, it can be scary, but you just have to be conscious and to manage your life and your choices to suit into what is happening,
Hmm.
because that is, like I said, it's here, and it's still coming. So
Okay, so just in one response, there's been this notion that AI has come to replace human beings. For you, is it a yes or a no? I know you said learn how to integrate AI into whatever you do. So, do you think AI has come to replace human beings?
the answer is yes and no.
Yes or no?
Um, yes, because there are some things you can never trust AI with.
Okay.
And yes, and there are some things that you would easily trust AI. Actually, you might prefer that it is AI that is doing it. So the reality is that I know that in the near future, some jobs that we have today will not be there. That's the reality.
Like which of
For
them?
example,
Like which of them?
I'll give you an example very easy. You have seen the central bank digital currencies. we're talking about. Imagine in the next 20 years or next 30 years, I hope it gets to that actually, and there is no longer cash in the
Yeah.
economy. Do you still think you'd have tellers?
I don't think so. I don't
Exactly.
think so.
That's just an easy one. So it will take out tellers, it will take out cashiers, it will take out anything that has to do with cash.
Wow. 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 Thank you. I'm
It,
just trying to
it, it-
check YouTube now to see if we have questions. We have a lot of people who have joined. Let me just take our time to appreciate some of them. Thank you, Gabriel, for joining. Thank you, Future Builder Empire. I said I'm Joel from Lagos. Thank you. Thank you, William. William is the CEO of ProDevs. I'm leaving the best for the last, right?
wow,
Yeah.
awesome.
Thank you for joining, sir. Thank you, Gabriel from Lagos. Thank you, Vicky from Lagos. Thank you. Thank you, Gabriel Chimdi. A lot of people are getting too much value from here. Okay, I don't have questions yet. So I would like to ask you finally, what are the resources that you can recommend to people who are looking to transition into tech? Um, First from your field and then holistically, are there sites where they can go and get free courses? Because sometimes one of the limitations
Yes.
that people have is, oh, they want to do this course, but then it's a lot of money that they can't pay for at the moment. Are there websites, are there places, platforms that they can get free courses finally?
The good thing about tech is that it is one field that you can always find free resources.
Hmm.
That's one of the reasons why I joined tech anyway. For example, I finished my materials engineering. I had to do some trainings after my university days to become a professional in my field. And the training as of then was about 4 million, right? So
Oh,
the funding alone has taken out a majority of the guys that would want to go for such training. The the good news is that in tech, it is not the same. It is more about your desire than the funding.
hmm.
Why? Because there are lots of industries, there are lots of companies providing free resources and free training, willing to get you to learn their products for free.
Mm-hmm.
Oracle is one of them. Microsoft is one of them. AWS is one of them. Cisco is one of them. And there are lots of resources. Um,
For
if you
free.
if you say yes for free, like tons of resources, tons. Like the issue is never the resource.
Hmm.
It is more
The
or
desire.
less your willingness
Hmm.
to consume them. So if you want to learn, let's say you want to learn Python today, there are over 10,000 resources to
Whoa.
teach you Python alone for free.
For free.
That's just Python. Yes. Now, if you say you want to learn UI UX, there are tons of resources. Just go to YouTube for a start.
Hmm.
And for example, if you want to learn DevOps, there are again tons of resources for free. For example, I can recommend Code Cloud Engineer. You can just go there to gather experience. Now, here they would give you tasks to perform, and it would be as though you were working for the company.
So you
The
said
the
code
tasks are
code
virtual.
tax engineer, right?
Code Cloud. Code
Code
Cloud.
cloud
It's a
engineer.
company.
Okay.
Yes, you can apply for this role, and you become a code cloud engineer, and you'll be getting tasks to
Whoa.
perform. Now, what this task does for you is that it gives you an experience, because it is
Yes.
as though you are working for a company,
Yes, I
and
agree.
the company is giving you tasks. Basically, that's it. So if you need experience, you would get it. If you
Hmm.
need roles, you would get it. If you need mentorship, there are tons of guys there looking for guys to mentor. It is just your will to become. That is
Wow.
the
Wow.
question. It is not the resource. It is the will to become.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. So finally, I know I've said finally, but this
It's
conversation
fine,
is so
man.
amazing. Are you open to mentorship?
Of course, I
Oh,
am
great.
currently mentoring some guys
Oh, wow.
already, and always open because, like I said, someone mentored me. Someone is still
Okay.
sorry. Some people are still mentoring me,
Wow.
and because of this, I can never close my door to become someone's help. Now, if you need anything, I at least would know the road to point you to.
Wow.
Because again, if you have enough desire, that's all you need.
Wow.
You would often just need someone to say, hey, don't go here, go here. Don't use this, use this. This is more or less a waste of your time. Use these guys. For example, I was learning Terraform in Azure, and I saw again tons of resources. But I had someone that said, "Bro, you don't need to waste your time. Just
Mm.
take this 2 hours course, and that's
Mm.
all. You already
Wow.
know on Terraform in AWS. Just
Wow.
take this 2 hours course, and you'll be very good with Terraform on Azure, and that's it."
Wow.
So again, you need mentors. I would say it's like day after day, you need mentors. If you're going to succeed in tech, you need mentors. It would help you. Actually, it would make your journey faster. It's not like you cannot get there without having a mentor, but having one will make your journey way, way faster.
Mm, wow, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome to know. So, guys, you've heard the conversation from Jeffron. If you're looking to transition into tech, he's free to mentor you or show you the path that you can go through to get to your desired dreams. We're going to drop his LinkedIn handle down the comment section after now so that you can reach out to him one on one and then continue the conversation. I want to say a very big thank you to you, Jeffron. I think we have to go.
Thanks,
I
man.
wish we didn't have to go, but I think we have to go. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you for taking our time to be here. And I also want to send a special shout out to my boss, the CEO of ProDevs Outsourcing, Mr. William Mubo, who has given me the privilege and the platform to do this. And I also want to say a very big thank you to every member of ProDevs team and for all that tuned into this webinar. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that you got great value. Please watch our space. Follow us on LinkedIn, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook. We're everywhere. If you are a talent looking to get jobs, we help you to find opportunities in companies in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. We've helped a lot of guys to get jobs outside the country. If you are a company looking to hire good tech talent, go to our platform, ProDevs.io. We have a pool of over 9,000 tech talent. We vet them for you. We carry out intense interview with them before sending them across to you. We record that we have about 95% success rate when placing talent. So I'm Dave again. I'm a thought leader and a business development lead at ProDevs. Thank you for your time. Thank you, Jeffro. We have to say bye bye now. So, guys, thank you for
It's a
joining.
pleasure, man.
We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye, guys.